Now at 6, credit agencies have lowered their rates for Connecticut utility companies. I'm Kaylee Collins, and I'll explain how this might impact customers.
One Connecticut town is cracking down on speeding, and they're going to be the first Connecticut town to do it in this way. I'm Jamel Johnson, and coming up on Fox 61, we take a look at what drivers can expect in the new year.
With Christmas just around the corner, the rush is on to get your holiday packages and cards in the mail. We'll take you inside a USPS facility to show you how they're handling the busiest season of the year. Coming up next.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock on this Wednesday. Good morning, sunshine. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lamberts. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're with us here on this Wednesday. Now 1 week from Christmas and the start of Hanukkah. Gotta get things done, and hopefully we got some good weather for it. Matt Scott, good morning.
Tick-tock. Running out of time. Hey, if you're going out this weekend to get some shopping, the weather's going to be fine, but you better put some layers on.
Yeah,
and
that's okay. We got layers.
It is going to be cold. Not today, though. Although, if you haven't been outside yet today, let me tell you, temperatures today compared to yesterday, noticeably colder. The day starts dry, ends with some rain. We're going to get that overnight, some moderate rain at times into the evening hours just before midnight, and then that's going to open up the floodgates for that cold air to come in, and it will be here well in place by the weekend. Cloud and radar picture is quiet for now. We'll add the clouds in the afternoon. Here's your rainmaker right now over the parts of the Ohio Valley down through the Mississippi Valley. Memphis getting rocked with some thunderstorms. This line means business down south. We're not getting that. We're going to get some maybe a quick band of some more heavier rain. That's coming after dinner. I think the 5 o'clock whistle is going to be fine for the most part, but look at it ramp up by the end, including, you see those reds on the guide. It's telling you, stand by, maybe a couple pockets of some real heavy rain. It is rain. There may be just a touch of some wintry mix well up to the northwest, Route 44. That should be it. Temperatures now upper 20s to the lower 30s. School bus forecast is fine now and later as one more day we hit 50. One more, and then we're not going to see that number for a while. We'll show you that on the 7-day coming up. All right, let's do the roads. Let's check the traffic right now at 6:02. What you got?
Alrighty. Oh, here we are. Hello.
We're here. Good morning.
Let's take a look at our statewide map. I do have a crash to tell you about in Stafford along Route 190 westbound. That area is closed at Old Stafford Road due to a one-vehicle crash out there, so you may see a bit of a backup. Be sure to slow down and look out for any emergency crews out there. Quick look at our Hartford drive time. Smooth sailing on 91 heading down to the 84 interchange, and the commute along the 84 East heading toward the Hartford Tunnel, moving along just fine as well. And for those of you traveling along Route 2 West in Glastonbury over to the Founders Bridge, that will take you about 6 minutes.
Utility companies here in Connecticut, 2 of them saw their credit ratings get downgraded again.
Yeah, a major ratings house has lowered the credit rating for both Connecticut Natural Gas and Southern Connecticut Gas just weeks after a different analytics company downgraded their credit ratings and Eversource's rating too.
Yeah, Kaylee Collins joins us now live at the state capitol with more on the impact this could have on customers. Kaylee.
Well, like you said, Eversource was hit last week by this reduced rating, and now another credit agency has reduced some of the ratings of Avangrid subsidiaries as well. And this might seem like it's only been reduced by a notch or so, but utility companies say this can have a lasting negative impact on its customers. So let's break down this most recent reduced rating. Moody reduced both CNG and SCG's credit rating by just one level, which you can see here on your screen now. This comes after S&P Global reduced ratings just over a week ago, as I mentioned, for Eversource and Avangrid, which does include CNG and SCG. Now, S&P Global said the downgrade is due to the state's regulators. It claims that PURA has been inconsistent in its decisions. However, state officials have largely supported PURA's attempts to stop those frequent rate hikes. Utility companies say the downgrade will negatively impact customers long term with higher bills and limited availability of capital resources. Now, in a statement, CNG and SCG president and CEO Frank Reynolds said, quote, Moody's, S&P, and every other rating agency has attributed CNG and SCG's downgrades exclusively to the regulatory environment in Connecticut. Unless and until that environment improves, we should expect this trend to continue. The costs will be lower quality service, less reliability, higher energy costs, and diminished confidence in the health and safety of critical investments, end quote. Now, utility companies also say that these credit downgrades can take years to bounce back from. We have reached out to representatives of utility companies here in Connecticut for further comment on this and how it might continue to negatively impact customers. We will let you know if we hear back. Reporting live in Hartford this morning, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Okay, Kaylee, thank you for explaining that for us. If you still haven't sent out your holiday gifts and cards, you better get to it because, as we said, we're a week away from both Christmas and the start of Hanukkah. Fox 61's Kayla Cade has the deadlines you need to know. She reports from outside the post office in Hartford.
USPS says it's expecting to see an increase of letters because everyone is trying to get their Christmas cards mailed out. Millicent Meadows is going inside the United States Post Office facility to mail out Christmas cards.
Just hoping it gets to my friends before the holiday. I was here earlier, dropped off about 12 Christmas cards, and went and brought 3 more, and I'm about to drop those off just to make sure because a couple of them are going out of state.
She says she prefers to do it this way.
I do the birthday cards and everything, even though I still send the text Happy Holidays, but I still like to send out the cards. Just that's the extra personal touch.
But where does it go before it's delivered to the address written on the envelope?
One of our letter carriers or collector will pick up the mail. The mail will travel via a truck or a trailer, comes to this facility to our platform.
After that, the mail is taken to the canceling machine.
The mail will go up. It goes to the entire machinery, and it gets canceled to our Barney system.
Franz Latour with USPS says they were able to have 1.5 million letters go through it on Monday.
It goes over to the AFCS. The AFCS will cancel the actual stamp, the postage that is on the letter, and then from there, it will go to a DBCS machine and get processed.
This machine makes sure the piece of mail is valid and can correctly go to the person you are sending it to. Once it's finished over here, it goes to the Delivery Barcode Sorter, or DBCS.
Has the capability of doing 25 to 30,000 pieces an hour. As you can see, the mail is flying through there.
A robot then finishes the job.
Our robots put it together either in what we call containers or a skid. It will go travel to wherever it's going.
The process is now done and is ready to be delivered.
Once it leaves here, it will get into a trailer and then get dispatched out to several facilities throughout the nation.
Latour says they are committed to getting your mail to you, but it may take a few days depending on where you are located.
If the piece of mail has a proper address on it, rest assured we will get the mail home to you on time.
If you want the items that you are shipping to arrive before Christmas, there are some important dates you should know. For first class and ground advantage shipping, you have until December 18th. And for priority mail, the cutoff date is December 19th. In Hartford, Kayla Cade, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Kayla, thank you. There have been discussions in several Connecticut cities about installing speed cameras, but one small town has decided to be the first in our state to actually do it.
Yeah, we sent Fox 61's Jamel Johnson to the town of Washington to find out what drivers can expect in the new year.
Man, I have been driving all day. I'm so tired. I just want to get home. It's only 5 minutes away. I mean, no one cares if I speed just a little bit, right? Washington, Connecticut does. In fact, they'll be the first town in Connecticut to have speed cameras deployed on their roads. First Selectman James L. Brenton says that the #1 complaint that the town hall office gets from the people is speeding. The town's narrow, winding roads have made it difficult for drivers to maintain control of their cars when driving in excess of speed limits. First Selectman Brenton thinks the cameras will be highly effective in making the roads safer.
We are a rural community with a small police force. We have to cover 93 miles of roads, and we just don't have the manpower to do that. We're very hopeful that it's a game changer. And the goal has never been revenue. The goal is to get people to slow down and be safe.
First Selectman Britton says they are about 30 days from rolling out these cameras in the town, and they'll be placed at 3 roads, which include Old Litchfield Road, Baldwin Hill, and Wickham Road. In Washington, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Right, time now 6:09. The man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was indicted in New York City on upgraded charges. Now, if convicted, he now faces life in prison. And as Connor Hansen reports, investigators say this murder was an act of terrorism.
Suspected killer Luigi Mangione is facing a charge of first-degree murder. Prosecutors now claiming the killing was done in furtherance of terrorism. DA Alvin Bragg says the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Midtown Manhattan was meant to shock and intimidate.
The intent was to sow terror.
Mangione faces several other charges like having an illegal ghost gun. The DA says prohibiting those kinds of weapons is a priority. The high-profile murder brought widespread attention and even praise from people online who share frustrations with the healthcare industry. Fake wanted posters were even put up around the city with photos of other CEOs. New York's police commissioner scolded that behavior, calling it appalling.
We don't celebrate murders, and we don't lionize the killing of anyone. And any attempt to rationalize this is vile, reckless, and offensive to our deeply held principles of justice.
And new details from detectives who spoke to Mangione's mother shortly before the 26-year-old Ivy League grad was captured.
They had a conversation where she didn't indicate that it was her son in the photograph, but she said it might be something that she could see him doing.
That was Connor Hansen reporting. Mangione will be back in a Pennsylvania courtroom tomorrow for an extradition hearing. Manhattan's district attorney says it's possible the suspect could be returned to New York shortly after.